If I were just starting out as a private money lender today, this is what I would focus on first. Now, this video, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about conservative beginnings. I know, you want to be all aggressive and jump in. I get it. We're going to talk about quality over quantity. And then we're going to talk about systems, right? Because how do you scale without systems? Now, maybe you just graduated from the Lenders and Friends Ginfinity Private Money Lending Accelerator. You're excited, you're ready to jump in, or maybe you took some other program or course on private money lending and you're just like, look, I'm trying to get my first loan, I'm ready to go. And you got that adrenaline going, you're excited. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay? I don't want you to hurt yourself. You did the right thing, you got the right education before you jumped in, you invested in yourself and your growth. And so now let's talk about a couple principles to help you be successful on your first few deals, right? So first, let's talk about conservative beginnings. It can be very tempting to just feel that pressure to get a deal, right? Like you did all this education, you spent time learning, and now it just feels like, okay, I need to get a deal. I need to do a deal. There's some validity to that, right? It's best that you apply the knowledge as soon as possible, but we don't want to force it, okay? We want to be conservative in the beginning because you're new to this. Remember, you ain't true to this yet. You're new to this. So when you're evaluating deals, make sure you're being conservative in your approach, being skeptical in your evaluation of people and their projects, because I hate to tell you, but most deals aren't deals, right? So look at it with an eye of skepticism. Stick to your criteria. I don't care what private money lending program or training you did, they taught you or you created in that program some sort of baseline evaluation criteria, right? Maybe you decided you're only going to be doing in this state. Maybe you decided you're only going to be working with brokers. I don't know. Maybe you decided you're only doing this type of loan at this interest rate, or maybe you're doing DSCR at this LTV. Whatever you decided, stick to your criteria. You know why? Because when you made that criteria, you were in your right mind, okay? And what you're feeling right now is probably anxiety, excitement, something else that's not in your right mind, okay? So stick to the criteria that you set for yourself when you had all the best intentions in the world and you were thinking about protecting yourself and protecting your money while still making those profits and growing and getting that freedom for your future, okay? So conservative beginnings. The second thing here is thinking about quality over quantity. You're going to come across a ton of funding requests. I don't know how many funding requests I see on my Facebook feed every day. And I think part of it is just being in all these private money lender groups, but there's no shortage of people looking for money, right? But we're not just looking to fund anyone. We're looking to fund quality deals, right? Ones that actually make sense, ones that don't give you an icky feeling, ones where you feel confident that they're actually going to pay you back, ones where you have secured the loan, et cetera, okay? So keep that in mind. We're going for quality over quantity. It's no good to be able to say you did a loan if the loan turned out to be trash. I'd rather you wait 6 months, 8 months to find the right deal than to just be able to have those bragging rights that you did a deal and then the deal turned out to be horrible. Okay. And the third thing here is system building. So in this first phase of your private money lending journey, you may not be thinking as much about systems. Now, if you did our private money lending accelerator, you've already thought about systems, right? But I don't know what other people are teaching in their programs. So systems are important because the system is what you fall back on, right? And it's what creates consistency in your evaluation and in your business. So when you start to notice patterns for things, when you start to see the same thing over and over again, there's probably a system that needs to be put in place for that, okay? And anything that feels like it is cumbersome or labor intensive probably could benefit from a system. Let's do an example. You may be thinking about your due diligence process, which takes place with every single loan that you're looking at. Maybe you're forgetting what to ask the borrower for a fix and flip loan, right? There's an easy system you can put in place for that. There's tons. First of all, you can create a list, right? A due diligence checklist. AI can help you with this, and you can have it create an initial draft, and then you can go ahead and revise that draft. That's one way to set up a system so that you will not forget. Another system you may consider setting up is having a funding request form instead of just having borrowers be connected to you through a third-party contact or DMing you or texting you or calling you and you trying to collect information that way, right? You may decide to automate some communications like emails. You may decide to create a funding request consultation appointment and you have a booking link for that. however you want to set it up, whatever kinks you're kind of noticing in your operations, those are the things that you can turn into systems to help you operate better and more smoothly. So if I were just starting today, these are some of the things I would do. And just to let you know, I did not do these things when I first started. Honestly, I may have done the opposite of all of these things. So conservative beginnings, no. I was like, look, I'm trying to get into a loan ASAP. And the only thing stopping me from jumping in, right when I started is that I just didn't have the opportunity yet. But as soon as an opportunity came, I was so hungry to do a loan that, let's just say, I didn't do the best due diligence that I could have done. Okay. And I don't want that for you. Like, I want you to do it well. I want you to be successful. I mean, that actually worked out for me, but I would not count on that as a strategy. In terms of quality over quantity, like, I was just looking at the numbers, and I highly do not recommend that. Like, you could really hurt yourself if you're not doing proper due diligence. But again, I was so excited. I was new to the industry, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, this, I was still kind of baffled that this was even a thing, right? And so I was more focused on my relationship with the borrower and not necessarily with my relationship to the deal, right? Not really doing the most conservative due diligence I can do on the project, on the collateral, on the borrower, etc. Don't make that mistake. And systems, I thought I had a system. I thought I was doing the right thing. I actually ended up paying for this all-in-one kind of software where you can accept applications. It was like a CRM, but for lending. Like, you can accept applications, you can move people through the stages of the loan, you can collect documentation, all this stuff in one platform, and you could even service the loan in that same platform. I set this up before I even had a loan, and that was not the right choice for me, right? Like, why am I paying monthly for a loan management system with no loans? Like, it didn't make any sense, right? And I don't want you to do that. You can create simple systems that do not cost you a lot of money. And as you grow and as your business progresses, if there is a need, you can do something more comprehensive, like what I did when I first started. So, just some things to think about. I know it's exciting, it's an exciting time, but let's just be rational here, take a conservative approach, get those first loans under your belts, and then we will take it from there.